My husband doesn't find me attractive. I recently found an email from my husband to his dad from just before we got married. We got married about 4 months ago. I wasn't snooping in his emails. He'd asked me to find something he'd sent his dad a while back, and I stumbled upon an email thread with my name on it. I couldn't help myself but read it. Stupid, I know. But it was full of pros and cons for getting married to me. This isn't out of character for him, as he is incredibly indecisive and an overthinker in all parts of his life, but the thing that has got to me is on the cons. One of them was, not very physically attracted to her. It's broken my heart and I don't know what to do. Be honest and ask him about it? I would talk to him about it. IDK, that would be deal-breaker for me. I want someone that I'm physically attracted to and that is physically attracted to me. Which is possible, and I have already found my other half. Otherwise I would feel like they are settling and would feel guilty I'm holding them back. Let's be honest, it's something that is hard to recover from. It will always be in the background of your mind. Often, physical attraction grows with love, but physical attraction has to be there in the first place. You should talk to him about it. Try to understand what he doesn't like in you. Maybe it's something that can be improved, but chances are he will try to dismiss it as something he wasn't serious about. This is really weird. We make checklists for errands, not for a partner. What were the pros? Let's hear that too, along with other cons too. Talk about it in couples therapy. Either leave the email opened on his computer for him to find, or print it out and tell him you want to talk about it. Does he have a job or just got married so he can freeload off of you? What specifically did he say? I think it'll be better to tell us the pros on the list, so we can see where his headspace is at and try to understand the full scope of this situation. What's the nicest way to tell someone you don't want to go on a second date? Update. Thank you all for the advice. I was direct and as nice as I could be. He was fairly rude in response and I blocked him. 28 female, went on a date a week ago with a 34 male, that was really awful. Somehow politics were brought up, and it went completely downhill from there. We didn't agree on anything. I don't like to argue politics, but do think political opinions are an important part of how someone sees the world. The guy drove 3 hours round trip. I tried to pay for the dinner, like $80, but he wouldn't let me. He texted me 2 days later that he would happen to be in my area the next week, which seems highly unlikely it would be by happenstance, and wanted to take me to brunch. I have had plenty of bad first dates, but none where they seemed oblivious to how bad it was. He ended the date with a whole speech basically saying I would be close-minded if I wouldn't give him a chance because we have different political opinions. How do I get him to stop texting me? I take forever and a day to respond and only send brief messages. Also said I couldn't go to dinner or brunch. Should I just be direct? I don't really want to receive a close-minded lecture. The easiest way is probably just say, thank you for the date, but I don't think we're compatible. Good luck. Then just stop responding. Be direct, no games. The only thing required is to not be cruel. Something like, hey, I appreciated the date but I didn't really the connection. Have a good night. He'll probably be at least somewhat hurt or disappointed, but that's not your job to manage. As long as you don't add extra pain unnecessarily, you're good. I'd be direct and polite. Thank you for inviting me out for brunch, but I don't think that's a good idea. I think we're too different to really enjoy each other's company. I'm wishing you all the best and hope you have a good time on your trip next week. I don't really like how he says you would be closed-minded if you didn't give him a chance because of political views. It is a valid and okay reason. IDK, anyways, keep it short and simple, then move on and don't text back. Tell him you have a Planned Parenthood appointment because you found out you are about 12 weeks along and have to figure out who the father is. Then poof, he is gone. You don't even have to thank him for the bad first date. Say, no thanks. After our first date I don't think we're compatible. If he starts giving you a lecture, say, yeah, not interested by ye, and block him. Just be direct with him. Say you had a nice time, you don't see it going anywhere. Monogamous relationship. Boyfriend wants a threesome. My boyfriend and I are in a monogamous relationship and are both completely against polygamy in any form. He jokingly hinted he'd like, if someone joins the fun, and I pretended it was a joke a couple months ago. Now we were having a flirty conversation, and amongst the things we discussed he said that he asked for this before and he could tell I intentionally taken it as a joke. My immediate response was that we'll see if we can't let it happen, and he asked me to pick the person and not involve him in the process of arranging it with someone. Thing is, now I don't know how I'd feel if I see him hook up with someone else even if it's in this context. Edit. Thanks to everyone who's offered advice. Just to make a few points straight, I would not ask to bring a male in. It's a yes or no situation and I was considering saying yes, but after most comments received I am convinced one can only agree if they're 100% sure they want it to. So please stop asking me to invite a male friend in, or see his reaction if ask for a male, because I won't. This very often ends relationships. I wouldn't unless your relationship is very strong and you really want to have that experience. Do not do it. It won't end well. Don't. It ends in tears. Put down boundaries and just say no. Do not under any circumstances do this. A threesome is only fun if everyone wants it. If even one of you is unsure, it will end badly. If you don't feel comfortable with it, talk to your partner. That's literally all there is to do. Don't play games like I'm seeing suggested in some of these other comments. He's not monogamous lol. Every man thinks they want a threesome until they realize it's too much to handle and end up disappointing two people instead of one. Has he thought that you'd be with someone else as well? Would you pick a guy or a girl? M18. My cheating girlfriend, F18, saved my life. Should I stay with her? Clarice and I first got together a few years ago. We had swimming for physical ed. I completely sucked at swimming, but she's a member on our school swim team. One day I got leg cramps in the pool. It made me panic and I started thrashing and almost drowned, going under the water several times. Fortunately, Clarice jumped into the pool and pulled me over and up to safety. She saved my life that day. I fell for her immediately. Not long after that we started dating. A week ago though, I found out that she was sleeping with other guys. She begged me to forgive and stay with her and I told her no. I told her that we're over. That's when she started bringing up how she saved me back then and that I owe my life to her. Clarice said she gave me a second chance at life and now Jay should give her a second chance. I don't know what to do with this. I still love her too, but I don't think I can handle it if she hurts me that way again. That's when she started bringing up how she saved me back then and that I owe my life to her. So fucking manipulative. Run man, run. Fuck no. She cared about your life for a second. She apparently still wanted to fuck that guy afterwards still. Fuck her. Manipulating you. You don't owe her anything for saving your life and only terrible people would say you do. She saved your life, so the best thing you can do with your newfound appreciation for it is to dodge shitty people, like her. Don't stay with anyone who has decided you owe them. Human decency dictates you should save people whether you want something from them or not. Sounds like she isn't a very decent person. Besides, she's going to just run off and cheat again. Sounds manipulative to me. Dump her. Just because she saved you back then, doesn't mean she can be hurtful like that. No, she sounds like a manipulative bitch. Cool that she saved you though. Lol, this is two different things. Do you want to be with her? If answer's no, then end it, you don't owe her shit. What she did was the humane thing to do, not a favor for you. In hindsight, if it was a favor, then you get out because she ain't right.